right, so ante patience nyako so be nyaneme. I said that so sometimes when you dream and a dream is a beautiful one, then we cannot call that one a nightmare. But when you dream and the dream is all nightmarish, then of course, it is a nightmare. Hey, Joe. Anyway, so this I think is one of the dreams the people of the Mepe and what do we call that place? Okay, thank you. The North Tongue area. Those people there, I think, when they woke up one morning, it was not a dream. And of course, it wasn't a pleasant one. So, whatever dream it was they are facing, it was very unpleasant and it's still very unpleasant. The dream has turned into a nightmare. So, the people of Mape and the surrounding areas at North Tongue, they are really struggling. You see, that particular incident, for me, I have a lot of questions that the engineers will have to answer. Because the engineers, those who are looking after the dam, they're supposed to be well trained, well versed in whatever they are doing. And that is, I know that to put up a structure of that nature or a technical infrastructure of that nature, you need to do a lot of things, a lot of calculations, a lot of scientific and technical understanding of how things should be done. Notably, after thinking about how much it's going to cost, you have to know what will be the consequence of building a dam to stop the water from flowing freely. And one of the consequences, the earlier consequence was that after the dam was built, water started accumulating behind the dam. So water spread everywhere, and it turned out to be a man-made lake. So whatever the disadvantages of that particular process, we prided ourselves of having the biggest man-made lake in the world and the rest of it. If we had used or we have used those that particular lake we've created, if we use it properly, it is there for all of us to discuss. Of course, if we haven't used it properly too, then we know. So it is that when the dam was built, a lot of people, lost their dry land, the status where they live. The back of the Volta River became so huge that it drove people from their living areas and Osajifo and those people who started the dam, knowing what is good for the people. Some sort of settlements were built for the locals, to go and live. Settlements were built. Okay. As for those below the river or after where the river had been stopped by the dam, those in the lower basin, because water had been restricted, I think they rather gained more land, more dry land, which was good for them. As time went by, it is that people have settled along the lower part of the Volta River and they have built their livelihood, depending on the environment or the immediate environment of the river. But engineers, handling and controlling and, those policy drivers are the VRA, Volta River Authority, who are paid huge sums of money to think, to use their brain power to do work, to work for the people. I think they failed everybody because one thing about these structures or construction, engineering, and the rest is that we have something called method statement and risk assessment. The method statement is a huge thing that it comprises of what is going to build, how it's going to be built, how much it's going to cost, the opportunities, the advantages, and of course the sort of challenges that that project might cause or bring. All is in the method statement. Then, included in the method statement should be risk assessment. As the word itself, the risk, assessment. That is, risk is anything that can cause harm or death to human being. I mean, anything that can cause danger, anything that is risky, that can create disruption in the life of humans or animals or in the environment, anything. So the risk assessment is made that, okay, when this water is blocked, it will come to a time maybe there'll be too much water. So we need to release some of the water, which is normal, which is reasonable. When the water is too much, you release some of the water, right? So when you release the water, you got to think, where will the water go? The basin below, the track, the original, what do we call it, track of the river, will it be able to contain the enormity or the vast quantity of the waters that can be going to be released if we open the floodgate, what we call the floodgates? When we open one, how much water will flow in a second, in a minute, in an hour, in a day? How long do we have to open one gate, one floodgate, for water to flow freely? And what chaos or any will it cause down below or downstream? All these things are calculated. You see, not to bore you too much, I hear that recently the Volta River Authority, the VRA people, did with NADMO, disaster control people, they did what they call simulation sort of practices to see what can be done in case there was flooding. And I sit down and I ask myself, so when they did that simulation, what has come of it? Did the simulation taught them that this, overflowing, the flooding of the water is going to happen? Or the simulation didn't bring out any issues at all? You see, a lot of nonsense is being said in our country. We have, a society, the lifestyle, the attitude of our mentality, our style of living or running the economy or running the country is that, those poor, downtrodden, those sort of people who are very far away from the trappings of power or from the corridors of power, anything that happens to them, we try and do them a favor by helping. That governance is run by the people for some few people. That's how it looks like. We don't run a government for the whole of our the whole entity, the whole entirety of the country. If we did, then our president will not go to a village or a place where flood has caused havoc to them to say, oh, you see, I'm here. Not because you vote, after all, you don't even vote for me, but I'm here. I mean, that thing, we will come to it. Some say it's just a banter, or just a bit of trying to, a light-hearted banter, something just to lighten the mood of the people. And this. But really, yes, if it is true that, the people there don't vote for Akufo-Addo, and he mentioned that, then that does not become a banter. That is not a joke. It is, some sort of a way of reminding the people that maybe they should now try and vote for him or for his party. But before we come there, the point I'm trying to raise here is that the engineers and the technical authorities of the VRA has let everybody down. They've completely let everybody down because they had to know that when you open the floodgates, a lot of water will flow down below. And that water should go somewhere. And as simple elementary science will tell you that water will always find its level. I mean, the easiest way for water to flow, that's where the water will go. Water will not look for any convenient, let's say, uphill. Water will not think that, oh, if I pass here, I will destroy somebody's farm, or if I pass here, I will destroy somebody's cattle or ranch or any house. No, As for water, it flows where it got to flow. And so, since the building of the dam, have they, the authorities, the Water River authorities, have they ever issued, some warning or any directives to the people living around the, hey, you don't have to build here, you don't have to put a house here, or this or that or that? Have they ever done that? There's a lot to answer for. You see, the way our governments, our governors react, or the way we treat our people. You see, the other time I was saying that over here in the UK, there are certain practices in this world that they are good. There are certain way of doing things that are good for humanity, for mankind, that everybody will have to learn. And you will not need 100 years or 200 years of democracy in order to do the right thing. That is a stupid way of thinking. That anytime you say something, oh, these people have done the democracy for 500 years, for 300 years, these people have done it for 50 years, these people have done it. It's rubbish. To act, to do something for humanity, for mankind, to survive, to live properly, you don't need to live in a certain situation for hundreds of years before you get that sense or sensibility. It's so simple, isn't it? Those of you always retorting and remarking that, some people have done the democracy for a long time, and so that's why they are achieving this and that. It's nonsense. We have to run our countries. We have to govern for everybody. I told you the other time, look, I needed to do some checks. The medical checks or checkup that I had to do, the same machines, the same sophisticated or sophistication, the same sophistication or sophisticated machines that is used to treat or to identify or to check for illness and disease in the bodies of rich people, rich politicians, and the rest. It is the same machine, the same sophistication that they use to check Mansa Musa here in the UK. Because the idea is that, the governance here is that you have paid your dues, you have paid your taxes. Your taxes have been used to buy the machines and equipment. So when you are ill, or when there's a need for you to be checked for diseases and for treatment, good treatment and the rest, the way they will check the Prime Minister is the same way they will check Mansa Musa. And that governance shouldn't be attained by people who have done the democracy or governance for hundreds of years only. And Senti tie krom na so ye de ndie ye democracy ni nche nti say 100 years ansana suban papa bia wo democracy mu yesua ada enye jimi enye nkwase esem enye suban genjan. So we train people, we take people to high education level in some high university places all over the world just to come and lie to our people. Omo manko school ni bi. Enti ekufo adu tukwan na okomape okọ ahunafo krom na okoka kirom se mabaha na muntu ma me krasi mabaha mo asemwe asempepa asempepa emre bi me ka se mo se mahama eko kumase no koka se akukọ said osane asabe anye akromafe na whatever no mahama ayama santifo Stella no chese omo ntoma no ema no ho kasa ye be kasa ya manfo se wan kasa ye. Now after so many years na kufu ado akọ awrafo krom no akọ ka kirom say nsuo fa mo nse maba mo ntoma me kra mpo a maba me nse mo ntoma me so maba. I mean, it doesn't make, mo hwa asem we asem papa. Ebinim say, just a harmless banter. Yeah, they be agro or the rezi the asrisem kakra. Wo there banasi. What do you make of this? For me, me dream one to say yes, and try here, there was no need for that. I don't know what you might think. They are all journey. So if you say, yeah, they be actually so fine. Wait to your friend now, I can be actually me. Wait to your friend now, I catch me. Say no, Mansa Musa. I say way, and yeah, say be actually so. The next issue is about the Vice President Bawumia. As for Vice President Bawumia, the Mifu say he completely lost, you can't say, he lost the plan, and now say he missed out. He has missed out on opportunity big time, Mr. Bawumia. Because, say, as someone see your baby, all you got to do, as the next in command, President to Tukwan Eko Chile, Obibeka Ewa Bruchile, Obibeka President in Chile, Ewa America. Now say, in some flooding in a part of Ghana. Enka obia no a when minister obedi president no a se na dwin da fompa ni pakrone minister medi president. Bawumia should have been the first person from the government side obedu ho. I mean changing your friend saying the battery in my camera. I'll be back. I will definitely be back to continue. Now we change the camera, me change the camera ni via. Na ya beto aso.
Verano del 79 con la mejor música del mundo.
Okay, what? Ojaye.
Right, so yes, we are back. Hey, we are welcome. You are welcome back to the show, Mansa Musa. I am here, and I know you are there. Right, so yes, we're talking about what has happened at the Volta River Authority released water. You see, and sometimes you see, even the language used to describe what has happened in a water spillage, as if uh, you, as if let me see if I can get this gentleman. Uh, can I call you for a short discussion on the Mepe flood issue. Right. So yeah, I'm trying to invite somebody to come and talk to me live on air. That's what you heard. So you see, they are making sense. How come that the governors that we have in our areas, in Africa, in Ghana, it is all about that very few people, the educated few, the rich few who feel proper governance. But the rest of society are completely left behind. And anything that is done or supposed to be done for the rest of society is as though we are doing them a favor. Other than that, there was no need for Akufo-Addo to go to the grounds where he went to try to remind the people that, look, he has come to their aid even though they don't vote for him. I mean, as some way, me them say, and the next day, a friend is saying, Yenya communicate fee the presidency, saying that, look, the president or the presidency do regret, the comment made by the president himself, because obviously at that time he thought he had to raise the temperature, he had to raise the atmosphere, a little bit, even though people were suffering. He needed something like a friendly banter to make, to bring a bit of laughter into the situation. You see what I mean? That is what should have happened. But as usual, nothing happens. I mean, Akufo-Addo, I remember not long ago, Akufo-Addo went to, he was at this function, and apparently a chief or a king did not bother, or that chief, for some reason, didn't, rise up for the national anthem. Obviously, I remember in my day, you go to Opera House and other places to watch cinema. Whenever the national anthem is, begins or is played, you got to rise up, you stand, in honor of people who devoted, devoted their lives and everything to bring Ghana about. And that was nice, So the chief didn't rise up or didn't stand. Akufo-Addo, that remonstration, that, that you can see purely on the screens on television, how angry he was, telling the regional minister to go and tell off the king or the chief, ask him why he didn't stand up and everything. Okay, he did that, even though some thought he has gone too far, but fine, he did that. Then came another time when at the same, this same president was at a certain function with other dignitaries, other officials, and his daughter. His daughter was seen, talking on the phone while the national anthem was being played. I can understand and argue on behalf of the president that, the president didn't hear or didn't see what was going on behind him. But after, the occasion, after the function, and after a day, surely somebody, if the president and his people respected Ghanaians, the president or the presidency would have issued or should have issued a communique, an apology that, look, the president duly, sincerely regrets what happened the other day when national anthem was being played and his own daughter was on the phone talking to somebody and blah, blah, blah. They should have come, from the presidency, whether even if he was sincerely apologetic or not, that shows some level of respect for the people you are ruling. But Akufo-Addo doesn't give a damn. So he went to this Mepe, this Awuna land to go and almost, talk not to them, but talk unto them. To speak not to people, but speak unto people, to show them who is the boss, who is the main man. For Akufo-Addo to say that, look, you see, you are in trouble, and I've come here to help you with my presence or to tell you what we're going to do, even though you don't vote for me. People are saying that was cheap, that was crass, and that was unnecessary. Other people also want to say that, it was just a harmless banter. So, Mansa Musa, you and your people don't make too much of it. What do you think? What do you say? Akufo-Addo ni statement na Okoma was was it the right statement to make? Was it just a joke? You see, shall we just take it as a banter? And now says here Kika Beach Akufo-Addo say, hey, show Kasa mu ye. Now Kasa bi o hwani uni bia enyefe. 07876251261. And no answer ye friend say WhatsApp. Enti you wa Ghana na wo friend wo tie mi a. Ana wa broche bi na wo tie mi wo ni UK ha. WhatsApp nti betumi afre WhatsApp e de obeba Emma Yedi Nkomo. It was Skype number, which is 0208 123 5911. 0208 123 5911. And also, obey to me, Afre, na Ode plus 4402, 44208 123 5911. 44208 123 5911. And also, the Ubeba na Yedi Nkomo. Yenkotie enyom baako bi na ebesaba ebeto aso.
Verano del 79 con la mejor música del mundo.
Ojaye.
I know it is 6:13 now, 6 p.m. 30 minutes past, and it is 5 p.m. 30 minutes past in Ghana. Later on this month, at the end of this October, the time here in UK will go back 1 hour, so it will be the same time as will be in Ghana. But for now, it is 1 hour ahead. You are listening to Mansa Musa. I am ready to roll with you. Another discussion apart from Bawumia and Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo came from America to go to the Awuna people to go and tell them that he has come to help them, even though they don't vote for him. But as for Bawumia, his actions is omonyo onyekura. Bawumia has failed. Some people think that this shows lack of leadership skills or his leadership credentials. Suspect. Now again, Jose. Another story. The former Deputy General Secretary of NPP Nana Obiri Buahin wakasa na iba bedi hu nkomo. Let's remind yourself, remind them, say, you were YouTube so na science wo Facebook. Na Facebook no na say, beko NFM Radio, wo Facebook so. Na YouTube no so no, New Face Media, wo YouTube. Na mo amotie mo amope Mansa Musa agro no mo nkai hu se kwancha de efe no yesi edisika na yede yo na hana yete no NDC NFM Radio yesika eka bubro ni yetua de edan ka ne equipments ni o ma bebre enti wutie Mansa Musa na magro ye o de magro ye ofa misra wa mantwen na enkodu bibia am so ye ntumi mba biom because ya tum ye niska ai de betua Misrao, who will be our entrepreneur and I say business. Will be our person advertise ya. Fanebra, they advertise near Skaka Crabin at Tieka. We are some kit way be. Madame say.
Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I don't have the figure offhand, sir.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures at this moment.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that? The Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I don't have the figure offhand, sir.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures at this moment.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that?
abusan for me chacha obi bia muntie mare husem bi mame school na ya mi twai eye na gode DAJHS a ewo Ashanti region na ewo nyinahini eye ye mami sisira da panso ofri impesetia nti ewo ye mami sisira da pa constituency mo school we monhwe school dan a enkwada ekom school we eni ba bia wo Ashanti region ewo atwuma mponoa ena school we wo na gode DAJHS ene the primary enie momienhwe arehosem oba besia atumi akuku sika ente se eda so ewo dem na babia wo free the constituency babia wo free suku a adan a enkwada ekom enie eye arehosem papa Ghana de se wan hwe yi no wan hwe yi a anhwe obekasa etiam penimfo school dan no enie school dan a enkwada ekomu school mamehwe dabrana no kromba school ha nti ombo date on the 3rd data ombo ni 3rd August eye anano Thursday no emisumba school ewa ha eye arehuse monhwe roofing baby a school for etie na oba besia atini apage sika enti se na eda oda so ewo edem na Ghana for ye di emobo hwe school dan a amamfo ema ekum se enkaye maami sisiara da pani na okufuadu ene ne mpanimfo imu bi enka omoma bi efri ha enti enka ombejai ama school dan eti sei ana school dan no eno ani o ena newo asiehui maami nzumi ade no newo asiehui enso eye baby a nursery ne KG4 enso echo eno no enti eyare husem papa esaye yen nyina ye MP honorable Azekwame Asiama oko parliament 20 years ni oko parliament 2004 hwe eyare husem papa na Mose sika eda so ewo dem na Ghana for ebre hwe school no ni nyina ni na gode DAJHS ene the primary enie megidi se JHS ni enti eyare husem papa ewese mpanimfo ebam se wa mamu a JHS ni hana JHS for no school eyare husem minka se sa burden we krana eye kaka
mama nji 2 years se sia de fiora bia di 2 years ewa me dem what's your mother what's name 2 years we ya ho di 2 years aka ho se sia no se dan so man ha se pese o single room se sia no puta 600 o puta 500 o puta 700 800 nya dan se sia agent for agent 100 cedis for viewing fee and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee just show you the room se sia if you are for bia the omodan agent for uchia ya 9,600 also uchia agent 900 600 and 900 and almost 1,000 cedis. Why se sia you to me day why like why hey like it's Say, Matsna demo 2 years, I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you are taking the 2 years. You will take 1 year and put. Because you see, me and 6 months, no 1 year. To see how the we Juma may fear. Busumi pay the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one pay because a whole month no pay. And see back on one day. Ume should be you. Ume should be you or my one penny for Monka once a machine. Youth for the year brenna ye kun anyhow. A direct in tea ye begging pointino. Uber come ye kun. Boba koma ye kun ti youth nti ye bra mu edan sem ku ye adai how Ghana ye bla papa adai and then fear walk in nka jefe me patro me pedai but because of agents very fee so do cut set them or bet you 80 cedis and now say 100 cedis and then dance so man dying who got 600 oh yes single room in or do 2 years 600 cedis 2 years because of that need to be able to mother than or no person or two now or do a group for the show on 1,600 1,500 let the would turn into a person who 2 years. Ati mu ka ho hwe ma ye say youth ni ye bre ye ya ni ye beto aba ni ye aso ye to aba na me je me influence ni ko fo keke.
So basically what you have there are you have communication specialists, directors of communications, deputy directors of communications, technical communication assistants, media aides, media liaison officers, communication consultants, presidential advisor on media who has a technical director to the presidential advisor. Then you have the ministers of state at the presidency,
and these guys are there for information minister.
Yes.
No, go through that list again. Just on the communication side,
there's a lot to communicate.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
You have information minister who's cabinet level,
who has ISD working for him too,
and then you're having all these guys working under the presidency,
who work under communications directorate
of the presidency.
There's a lot to communicate.
You can't be serious.
I'm just telling you, there's a lot to communicate. So
and what are the conditions of service of these people?
Nobody knows. That's the issue.
That's why the transparency is not. So if I'm a lecturer in Legon and I've been teaching for 15 years, right? And I struggle to get my PhD. And then you have somebody who is a technical director to something who has access to fuel. Read the letter they wrote. They said their fuel thing is not gone up. So this technical director, what's the competence, what's the qualification of somebody to do this work? So if we are not transparent, and I'm saying that this is mathematics, this one is not sentiment. If the government wants the pressure from the labor unions to go down, and they want to, and if they want a credible plan for IMF to, if the plan is not credible, see, if people don't accept the plan, it's not credible. If the labor unions, the businesses don't accept the policy, the IMF will not accept it. So if they will not be transparent with these guys and say, this is what we are doing, I can't understand why you have all these guys working and what are they doing? You said they have a lot to communicate. What are they communicating?
I'm just telling you. But if what would be the justification for
look at
directors of communications?
Mention mention the post again. Mention the thing again.
So the directors of communications.
How many directors of communication?
Yes, 4.
4 directors of communication, and then deputy director of communication.
There are 5 deputy directors
at the presidency.
Yes.
And then which one again?
2 communication specialists.
So the director is not a specialist. Okay, the specialist below.
There's a lot to communicate.
2 communication specialists and then
communication officers. 5 technical communication assistants.
So you have 4, 5, 9, 6, 7 plus 3, 10, 15.
Media aid.
How many?
1.
Media aid.
Assistant media liaison officer.
17.
Communication consultant.
18.
Then there's a presidential advisor on media.
Charlie, are you sure you're not joking? Are you saying what are you? What is not joking? What are you saying? No. Of all
abusiafo sese die yenam top connect so e mani sika de bagana efi wiase afa na nyina yentia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mani aye mrekra ye wuhia ne se wo download wo top connect app no e Play Store diama wo Android phone and so we use iPhone so ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple cra top connect wa manda buaduo num so wo Europe North America and Asia woman wo dofu sika fa top connect so aye ntem na emre na mawa hoto so sese die sika mani di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia for top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our Belfont interfidie nyina so top connect for sika mani wa dofo sunjemu a unchia kapre top connect yensu ye die
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79.
Mo ye ka so for asema mo Moses say. There is no genuine pastor in this country. So for biani oye genuine. There's no pastor in this country. I may say there's no single pastor. Oh my Ghana mo nyankopon ebie na no kasa kire no. They are liars. They are doing business. Obi akotina na sorry dem abie na sorry ye ne business na sebi previous youth no mo Ghana so na mo akotina sa sorry dem na mo ton nkumbia bi mutumi ko toss off calendar de bo simu dem say mo here protection abra sa sofu no or bodyguard na muti krom ha and youth na mo man mo ha no. This is the time I was say ye bia ye new Ghanaian youth, our eyes are opening. Senka sofu asofo ni e genuine adena Christian counselor ye din na youth e wo man mo ha ye bre adentina Christian counselor hudo ahemfo e wo krom ha. Everybody is quiet about what is happening. Crisis e wo man mo antinka ye wo sofo mo so mo bin Ghana ho mo nyame ni papa nka sofo yo mo sori nkasa ma youth no. We don't have any genuine pastor in this country. We are in this country na sofu bibe shen come say shatawale bewu shatawale wayarimpo anka wabewu. They are all in this country with lies. Black Stars kwa kubo match na sofu bi di flyer bi ba out to say omuye fasting and prayers for Black Stars. Akosi saying group stage ukura mutimi pie. We are living in this country. Instead of saying pointing the mistakes to the government to say is distracting the people of Ghana. No, mu yes no. Now mo your flyers are who do say move empire to Galamsey, move empire to economic crisis in the country. Me say there's no genuine pastor in this country. So for biani Ghana nyankopon kasachireno. They are all liars. Nobody. So for biani or maimuha, they should come. I can prove to them that they are all liars. So for biani kuma. So for being say nyankopon e friend na on kire ye na ebesi 2022 2023 on kire ye na ebesi 31st night ba afa no mbe show mu nkwasi ankom na ase na omu hye nkom se uma me na how u papa na how u bi dua bi asifiri ho na how na mu distract youth na omu di nkonti ba dwum omu maame na omu papa no machi se omu ya abaifo asofo omu kanipa bom asofo omu ye beef wo Ghana u so what say nyame nipa ye beef da. Let's open our eyes, Ghana's youth. It's about time munya sorry kona munya juma. Work. Stop going to church. It's a waste of time. Sit down in your house, pray. God will listen to you. These pastors are doing business. They are getting money through with the youth. Work and get money. There's no single pastor nyankopon kasa chire no Ghana maimuha. They are all liars and hypocrites. If they are not
the clergy and the religious this thing, when they speak, they shake the foundation, and it is only the church that will address meaningfully the canker going on, and they want to silence all credible voices. Now, today we will reveal everything to you. This question has direct relation with the pronouncements of Reverend Professor Marty. Let me tell you why people do not want Professor Marty to talk. Listen, they have tried, politicians have tried all means, all means to muzzle me, to get me, but they can't. They come with bribes, fat envelope, $100,000. Listen. I want everybody to listen. Politicians came to my house with fat envelope, $100,000, not cedis, dollars, and also with the promises that if you keep quiet, we will give you a house at Trazaco with swimming pool. You know what? We will give you 4-wheel drive. These people were lucky. I did not have big dogs in my house. Else I would have released the dogs to bite them for the whole world to ask, Papa Moderator, my boy one again. Papa Moderator, I then I would tell me now you release the dog. Then I will tell them, ask what they came to do. You know what? They have tried all means to muzzle me. They couldn't, and I tell you they can't. And you know what? I will speak today, I will speak tomorrow. You know the tax I pay? Sometimes when my district come and I see the tax that I've paid, but at the same time I say, praise be to the Lord we serve, because it's going to build our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, we will talk tomorrow.
I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government. I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government.
NFM Radio.
Sydney Discotheque. Verano del 79. Con la mejor música del mundo.
Oye. Die.
Right, welcome back. If you just welcome if you just tune in, Mansa Musa. I've been here since 5:30 tonight or this evening. I've started early because I need to go somewhere else later on. So, what about no mama will be as about 8. No, I'm sorry, because it's about 7. Saka, Madam Mary Gardner, NDC for women organizer. Chess on or share man so. A Marco on Osheso, a big responsibility. Now, according to what I've heard, she's handling everything very well indeed. And we are happy to have her here to discuss some current issues. I happy Organa Kakra. Now, I'm in Sunday, the women organizer for the NPP, Madam Dachi Hima. That is a beautiful name she's got for herself. But in the Kasa Sunday, Obebaha. Either say Benyan or TV, so announce radio, Facebook, YouTube system. No, so that is Sunday. But in that, no, some 5-10 minutes, BNA, Madam Mary Gardner and Kotuchi and Komoka Kra. Auntie Mary, good evening.
Good evening, Mansa.
Na, Empomu Bokodie.
Oh.
I mean the pastor means I come because Nancy him say why busy. I mean in the end, everything has come out nicely in terms of your friend is more more elections, in the holiday send me congratulations straight away.
And I say any then you say.
Now, radio me frɛ wa nwumre nya bone. Uncle Baumia. Ono na eja president etukwan. Nka president tukwan a ono any next available. BBAC achese. Nka me no a ka me minya one day kura na me so mo abuo man yie pa se na be ya. Ghana for be ka se the man na wan hwe obetua ya bibio. Enso me hu ne chance bi aba na wa patre na wa hwefom say team just when to me amfa koto anyenkwan but before I be ko ba omia so no what is say kufu adu call mepe ahunafo kromu a Volta region ho ba bia omote insuo na se kan insuo na sa Volta river authority akoso modam no na se ho no a se ebie insuo na se insuo no fa ho no omote no insuo afọ omo peche omo ye mo hwie ye kufu adu kodu wa say hey mo se ma ba after all say mo nto mame enso ma ba nyese bia mo minim say mo nto mame so ma ba asem we okoka ebisi o just bruni be kan banta agro we any see a fan in Ibreso ebi no so say hey come on this is unnecessary. What's unnecessary now brofoka say bibi say unnecessary rhetorics and now say distasteful comments are come na NDC ni oba pani a wo UK ha o asem we hu ni say what you say
no Mansa Musa medawase memfa akonya so na minchia wadwuma radio station o producer ne on mu ye adwuma nyina minchia Ghana fo a omutie wo enanwumre na fe memfa sa akonya so biom and NDC UK and Ireland chapter say memeda mienu a ebesin twemu me ekoto aba na delegates na kasaye omo ayi omo pese omo no omo ye adwuma abato esi ekoto aba wo be wene ana wo be lusu zebi akonya no ba ko nipa ba ko na efa na mensa kebiom se omo lusu ye ne nso no ma omo nya omo adwene se omo lusu no ma wene ye no so mo mutirimu nya omo de bebere so omo wene na mom ni nyina 2024 mama ye nyina ye kan ehwo se ebusuakuo ba ko se ade ba ko eye mu ade ye nyina chinie kese no na kata ye nyina ye so enti mama ye nyina ye kan ehwo ni ye nya adwuma na ye kofa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama nomba media konwa no na Ghana fo emfa omontoma pa ensa infre biem Mansa Musa asama wo kai anka ne kwan ano no se president ni kwa na bedi echire ena wo so obe echire na bawumia se wono wote wono se ni refi se wo ye vice because one campaign some say next month no more papa to aba no mayi o flag bearer enti ono no ho na najo no ewo wenia obe wene flag bearership no eno na se wo dweno enye de Ghana eko anadi akosie anadi ato Ghana ena wo dwena tisa de wo kan kenko omampanyi Nana Akufo-Addo asama Nana Akufo-Addo ekojina ye mebusuafo mikromfo aibefo menuanom entema okokan Obroni bese a reckless speech and Nana Akufo-Addo kujina okokan say asama to omaya wudi so na wudi omaya sunti ena why bad time ti ena asama to a no bia ehwe ni mu se ye ma peni ye nze nka ye ma peni meka ahwe ye ma peni nsoma obia ma because Ghana fo hu se we ye ja but the see ye ya me hu se Nana Akufo-Addo ni tina sonokwa Mansa Musa bisana ma mi biti efie chede bia no ka kire ne baba ko se uti etesesesa trinim anwea ho na buti bia no kana menti ase until that me re sesa na ko se abo na ku sesa utiri mu ampa saka saya baba ego jina ho kasai eye me ya na wahima wabatai kromfo edu womani ato so so we mamada enti no ye ba wona ase a wo beka samaye wo san your batai emofra wo kro no Mansa Musa ye still wo si bebe wa kro no mabon kaka se say sabio si weje no eni suo na befra enti ya hwani ya cholera outbreak besiwo esiwa enkofo ebewu pa nipa bewu nkwala bewu mpenifo bewu
NFM Radio
na wo hema abejira bekase Akufo-Addo obeka na Akufo-Addo wojogu Akufo-Addo woti wojogu de tirimo de papa yin kanya sase biada free so obedi akonwe oba no abeka no boom no ko na don't blame him One one kasa, bra or be president, or catch the Ghana for say, one breda. Ombreda. Na nipa ti me kasa asem wo ekire mo. Na ma fa akofane de naba. Se asem wo esi akoso boss village ayi we. So be anim no politicize this idea we a won. Ayi before omo aboso mo sori a enya asem papa. E wo promo because ayi before they believe in omo aboso ma omo som wo. Almost so many but almost I believe in Roma bosom. The assessor almost yema or my bosom, almost yet, for Kaiser, dear Makama Kaiser, never yame, dear Mayame. They believe in that. And this hour, him man or cancer, some no beer, will be yes, the way you have been. Now, be General Castle, I go father, I grown with the way Yapro, Mummy, and find Yapro. Now, the youngest I who for the time was small babble. Now, about me, I can't would see moving out of him. And to walk away, and in a witcher, and in a walk.
Oh, sir, Mammy Musa, Maumia, near action, and I say, near attitude, I will be kind to say, we John Wooka Crow. Why, I'm missing the point because I did the politics are all the penny, no better flag beready. And the dear apostle of mine, and then it's you. And then it's had you a year of brow, Mamma, would do Kunachi, yes, say every successful man, or there's a woman. But in a year, no dinner, Chino Crano. Well, Vice President will be John Wakasa, Sabis, Fragile, Wakasa, as a Wubia, or Bodamba, Nyansa bien. Dojina one was wrestling. Nyansa bien in Asama water. In Tronia Dada, and that's one much of Momo. And also, every before Ranum be defending. And no one nature of me. I so Akoma will be a here 80, 100, here. Sika, why resign from the race? And I know a Canada Japan so by man show down. Dear negotiate. And no much of it's about me. I'm one on the flag bearer war painting one of vice president that come here and say, while resigning. Or in a campaign, I did in the NFM Radio. It's in your dear cost Wagana and yana some crisis. Then yet the uncle no obey an amount for bishop. I'm out mandated. It can net the obey an amount for bishop. But the SC vote on a Rawusam. A Rawusam pass or Martin, Papa, and you won't try to send an out. So if it is truly a joker, where are they the joke? A idea the joke. As somewhere see, I'm for I'm a soy, Fedian soya yet, yet don't know. And for Japan, you now say. Where are they the joke? On my opinion, I would take a cracker and so out in the glass. Where are they the diablo? Right. Where do you mean, sir? Ombre no eswa. Na before Obekono, Obiri Buahi, ono na a National Deputy General Secretary my MPP. Asembia wakawa hano. Oyeka ose ade na amanfo wa banmu a bibia ekosu kama na mom se ye ma omusulia ana se ye relegate no ye yi ni free mu afi na afi wo be kanya sesem onu busa se oman a ye ni dialysis machines na nka hu hia se ye be waste hundreds of millions of dollars si ye kwa kosi asori nan asem ise nka de nka nya sesem na o kana me question is ade nti na say o twen ani ye yi ni free afi na ni bere a ansa na wo be hu papa no aka
Yes, I tell because also a market is not grown when it's your way in Yao. Ye no, Akai. Then Wakai. At Master Musa, dear Meka Pusiana say, and can some more kai, and can acquire. Yes, I say a cannon, what cannon. Nanka, a yet day. And now, Nipa a war, Master Musa, what dear, Ningy night, singing I. Shall a batanya woman, a collect the one, what the femme, a collect a chair, what the femme. Munya Bibia, say, improve the health system, our Ghana. Munya Bibia, say, improve the education system, our Ghana. Now, what dear, the money man is a majimeti, and no pet, and I pay before him. Woman from your friend is saying, Jubilee House, and will be kind. Was the corruption here no from Jubilee House? Now, no back, my best lie, ministers, and no more DC for you know, best lie will be at the plate, I bet you the portion, not the cook. And one yet it's a more group. Nanka ma woman yama pim from ma, and Kola woman yawu woman, and ye Kola school from Kola woman school. And now hospital last week, Madam be mammy in a stroke or Madonna to hospital. Mammy, Casamity, me or Monkoya scan, Monko hair scan. Mammy, Casamaha was a Monkoya chest or the hospital. Almost administer a drug. Yeah, but a scan upon blood test. And one year the omoye. Say this year, I was wondering them for I best say what my Ghana. Omo kuru o my no dia kwa ko si. Baby say adia no asay apro atete apansam. San. Eya rewusem ene ye kan onipa ba ko pe ene ye hwe nanim ene his excellency John Dramani Mahama aye bi pe wa ye bi da Sagana fo be mana konya no 2024 ma to aba ma papa no aba ka odigana be free baby akosi baby Akagana for Akamuchi woman, I woman say, obey ye, free baby, Apakusi baby. A Canada one day. I am before Aka. Oma Casa Canania, dear, cause my Jimetino, a blossom. Sika, when my baby tear dino. Shakwanya woman the Ghana for fast woman papato we will Norway a commission in high commission. Adia almost upon the border. I want no more send a board in. I say more papa much report a price no. And no dear, nip one yet, more papa. Says I want you know why, Master Musa, what here? Last week, I am free Ghana by. Last week, I be do Chroma 5th October, and I be do Chroma. Arrow. Me was not a sit down about because I did not Chroma, Sigano Mama. Or some more me, you. Now, and before we have best say Corona, just say, yet yes, she and ye. And I'm seeing Fendi more taxi drivers, more Kakubi. So, it's a dear, I could find another drama by your mind, dear. I pay a why be paying 1 year string at me. Say, Ghana foreman of when you know, run on the CC or mine and my view. And yes, sir, a bank at Ghana, every. Africa map so and world map. Any opium. And let's say scammers. Ghana for scammers. On the platform so and just a day, any papa be a whoppers almost scam. Let's say back one, or catch him say, Mommy, you mind my deal. David, you cry, you go school cry when you're to my yet. And see, I was somewhat up to chronobo. Because I was wondering, no, you're free. Why you're free from the one obey your president, so why you're free, and why you're free, missing a walker boom, and why you're recall. What kind is a man? That's no credit back. I was wondering you're from four, never papa wouldn't send a band where you're from four. Or then about two, you chrome hay, one of send a band where you're free. And what the attitude ministers, what the attitude in the DC for the MCD for, and no one woman dinner singing, or the attitude woman and woman's woman they go woman. Send your chrono as your poor cantam so, or my ganamo, I rebel. Nanka, yes, say, I'm fat, yes, the penny brand and Kawuti Fiaka, so that's all for an army boy. I go for 100 years, on one of four, on one of four, said John. Me come for John Dramani Mahama. I'm a man Ghana ni baby. 24. Mama young far back to the communal labor. Young pony young congo twaba. Na young pump way through because Bawumiano can know Timubi and I put Aponya date. Can I date Japon know Timubi 1 year a 1 year MP? Once I saw Anka for your friend is almost fan into a committee so a parliament war. At the end, woman in all my woman in a town who come up and almost share a driver and I was under the car and got him. I was fear a good. The cover boy and a John Dramani.
You. Hello, yet I was it. I know paying you bray and I do what fire. Yet that's it be brave. That's it. Yo. And in Repamono, you better try and be invite you now. Now I say better TV so and I say radio ha. Now you know what to drink more. It does be brave.
Yes, sir.
Yo, bye bye. Right, Auntie Mary Gardner, I'm watching in Kano yet. NDC4 UK women organizer now. And they comment about Kufuor so we know and we on one opinion and yet radio NFM and answer Mansa Musa opinion. In fact, I know him. On the Facebook, Adibeke say Kufuor is a total disappointment and a colossal failure. Yo, and also the ABC. What I want you to me send me. I will read it. Or if you want to come and challenge whatever you've heard, you can call me 0208 123 5911. Now say 07876 251 261, and I will definitely give you the airspace to converse, to talk. Right. So now then,
NFM Radio.
The question I'm asking is, Kufuor call Mepe, and I say those areas, you know, to go and show his presence and his kind of saying, to try to work out the sort of help he can give to the people. Now, Okoka said, I'm here not because you vote for me. After all, you don't vote for me, but I'm still here. No, I don't know who is saying. Maybe we say this was a simple Sebia agrodie just to lighten up the mood. It's a banter, light-hearted. We shouldn't be taken seriously. Others are saying this was reckless, this was unnecessary, and this was distasteful. Where do you stand on this? You know, now, Uncle Bawumia made me say he has lost, he has missed out on the chance to prove that he can be a proper leader. Because And Ross and then what was that? I was watching Good Morning Ghana, and the presenter or the host was trying to play his devil's advocate by telling the NDC communicator that Baumia was on his holidays. I mean, he was on leave or holidays. And Ukraine, I'm saying, and they was saying Ukraine. Now, Sir Vice President who on holidays, next assembly si wo mine mu. Every country bebre minimum assassin, so you will see that the president, even if they are having their holidays far away, they will run back to go and check. You see, I have paused because we'll be sending me a message. I'll say the vice president is not the leader of the ruling party. Even though he assumes the position of the president when the latter, that is the president, is out of the country, he still takes instruction from the president. The president said that when he was told of the disaster, he rushed down immediately. He, the vice president, couldn't just visit the place when the president was on his way to do so. Sir response way the one of the foolishest, if there's a word like that, a foolish response. And this is coming from people who feel that, Baumia, we should give him a chance, he will do better. And some can say, the vice president, Oti say, president in the catcher and say, man in Kohono, one can say, where am I? Where am I? Where many times I responded to that message. Okay, let me go for a short musical interlude. I'll be back.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo.
Okay, what? Ojaye!
Right, Mansa Musa, you are welcome if you have just tuned in. Anyway, the topic for tonight is all about what Baumia didn't do and what Akufo-Addo did. Ekufuado apparently was in America when he was told about this flooding. And so he did rush to come to go and see the people of Mepe. And for that, Ekufuado thing he has done, it's a big deal. The people in those areas, you realize that he has come to help them or see them because even though they don't vote for him. I mean, Obibeka, we know Hussein. I mean, how do you? This is not right, too, because, like I say, it is not the right moment. You know, when there's a disaster, people are struggling, and the president, you go there. You don't have to say, "Oh, I have come." You should take note. You should write it in your books for the whole, next generation, for posterity to know that even though you don't vote for me, I have come. It's a bit of snobbery, if you ask me. Enjoy ye, dear Yasem Papa. Oh, and dear saying, Ekufuado, Asemo, so can cry. Now, almost go round a defending same way, no. And no cry, Nema, Asem no say cry more, if you understand me. Those going round defending this crass and crap, they are the people questioning everything for the president. So the thing is, all right. Okay, so you see the thing is, every group of people or every part of the country, right? Every part of the country, you may have people who will vote for your party and people who will not vote for. It so happens that the voting pattern is such that some places you get very big numbers. Majority of the people there will vote for your party. At certain places, you may not get same, number or same sort of massive people following your party. And that is natural. That is normal. But when you are already voted, you are the president, you go everywhere and you act in the name or for the sake of everybody. There's no need, to remind, unless you are on a campaign platform and you want to remind the people in their area that, you see, in time of bad situations or difficulties, I was here to help. I was around, and so consider that is okay. That's on political, platforms or campaign platforms. But when you have just gone to commiserate or to help or to use your presence to direct, affairs as to how emergency and relief measures to be taken and the rest, you don't have to tell the people that, look, I'm here to help, even though you don't vote for me. A bit of insult, a bit of snobbery. As for the Queen Mother who decided to, defend what the president said, those people are everywhere. If you hear him, bootlickers always trying to say, even if she votes for the MPP, he should know that her people have been insulted. But there you are, Ghana politics for you. You are listening to Mansa. Musa, I am speaking on these portals and the NFM Radio. And like I said, tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, this weekend, I think, Sunday, we will, we may, in fact, it's about 90% agreed that the NPP Women's Organizer here in the UK will visit NFM Radio premises, radio and TV. So for now, we don't know whether it's going to be TV or it's going to be just radio. We'll confirm it later on, but definitely it's going to come. Then next week, Monday, vis-a-vis, that's a challenge. It will be between the organizer for NPP and organizer for NDC. Mr. Richmond Kwame Boateng will come to the studio to face off with, Mr. Musa Ademu. The showdown between the two of them, I'll be the host, and for me, Metrasiko Munamahe, the Omukika. Anyway, so that will be that for going forward. But I want you to either bring your message on what we are discussing. Now, if you take what Baumia did not do and what Akufo-Addo did. Take that one aside. The other issue which troubles my mind is that the former Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Nana Obri Boahin, has come out to say something. And let me see if I can fetch it, then I'll read it, I'll read it in full so that we can all understand. He said, why should a country without dialysis machine be building a national cathedral? Obri Boahin. So Obri Boahin is asking that question, that why should a country without dialysis machine, the machines that, a machine, a hospital equipment that can save life, why is it that Ghana, we don't have much of it? I mean, maybe about 4, 5, or 6, or 10, the whole country, which is woefully inadequate. Why is it that we don't have such machine, but we plan to build a national cathedral? This is the question Mr. Obri Boahin is asking. He said, Nana Obri Boahin, a former Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, has criticized the government's allocation of resources and priorities. Speaking in an interview on NET FM on October 18, 2023, he criticized the construction of the National Cathedral, arguing that there are more pressing issues in the country that demand more attention and resources. He pointed out that critical healthcare institutions such as the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital and the Kolebu Teaching Hospital are in need of dialysis machines. He explained that these facilities play a crucial role in delivering healthcare services to Ghanaians, and the lack of essential equipment like dialysis machines is a matter of concern. Then let me quote him here. He said, if you claim you will build a cathedral and all NPP people will be clapping, I will never clap for that project because it is not number one priority. The amount of money that will be involved can be used to build the railway from Accra to Doma or Boko, which is my topmost priority. You see, so Mr. Nana Obri Boahin is criticizing the government, that the government has got his their priorities all wrong. So why has it taken up to 2023, 18th October, for Obri Boahin to say this? I'm asking this question because some of us, we started saying the government has got its priorities wrong long time ago. We criticized the government that the government has got its priorities wrong. We said this long time ago. So why has it taken such a long time for Obri Boahin to come and say this at this time? You see the irony, you see the annoyance that, persons in government, people who form part of the ruling elite, when they are in the group, when they are in the shade, when they are together with, in government, and they are part of the governance, they tend to see everything as nice and beautiful. Anything you do to criticize the government, they will come and rather rebut or reaffirm the government position to let people think or know that the government is doing all right. It's only when people are booted out or relegated, as my friend will say, it's only when people are removed from the center stage, then maybe sometimes out of disgruntlement or, out of, I don't know, maybe they begin to realize their common sense will come back and they see what is right and what isn't. Then they can tell the truth, they can speak to the truth. Some of us knew this long ago, that the building, wasting of hundreds or so millions of dollars to build a cathedral was wrong, and still very wrong. Because we are talking about dialysis machines. So just imagine if it's about $100 million we are going to spend, just 100 million for cathedral. Imagine we are buying, that can buy about, let's say, 50, I don't know. Maybe how many? Maybe about 100 or 200 or maybe even 300 dialysis machines. Imagine what that can do. Imagine having those equipments in hospitals, how effective the health delivery system will become. And so when you use that, about just roughly a rough figure of 100 million to build a cathedral, and people say, no, this isn't right, then you have some empty concourse people with very hollow heads. They claim they have studied and they are learned, but they are still empty. They form part with the intelligentsia and some part with the clergy, a whole lot of Bible bashing people who will tell you that, oh, and Jesus said, throw your bread onto the waters and something, and always trying to tell us that it's better, to do certain things and forget about certain things. And they will tell you that, oh, whatever you do, there will be poverty in the system. In Kwasiaki saa near their support to say, you need dialysis machines ewo Ghana, and so you basic cathedral. You see, at the time, other nations were building cathedrals and monasteries and all those things. The idea wasn't around that, oh, we needed what we call dialysis machine. Maybe it wasn't even available. It wasn't invented. But even then, they knew that they needed to educate the masses seriously. So we have all these church elders. We have all these clergy people, clergymen, clergy women. We have all these Osofuos who have made monies by, making people feel that when you part away with your money, when you lose your money in the church, they have made people to believe that if you lose your money in the church, God will bless you. You see how stupid we have all become. These clergy people are so far away no more. They have made us to believe that you go and do a day's work. You go and toil for your daily bread. Then part of it or all of it, when you go to church and you spend it in the church, God will bless you. We have been made to believe this. We have been made to believe this. And some hunu and some kika hunu. So these clergy people, these church people, big church people, they have made their millions. They have made their millions from ordinary, also gullible citizens. People who think or who have come to believe that when you lose your money in the church, God will bless you. So these clergy people, clergymen, these or software people, these what we call it, Bible bashing, deceivers. They are now so rich and so powerful. They are so now resourced that they don't care if the government should spend hundreds of millions to build a cathedral. Because when they are sick and they are in need of dialysis machines, they can travel abroad. They can go to Europe, America, elsewhere to go and seek such health, what we call it, assistance. Asofo na egu Ghana no a omo support still no omo di omo gu sa board of trustee cathedral ne so no. Sa asofo na nya omo ho omo osika bebre. Enti sania obiribu aheka no Ghana ye need dialysis machines o ye ni bi. But And who here sa so for no? Because some of the omo yare na say use dialysis machines they check your more system. They can travel abroad, they can go anywhere, go and do those checks. And can go to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, they can go to South Africa, they can go to Europe, they can go to America. And so when or if a foolish government wants to build cathedral, they will support it. Like I say, take the issue of dialysis machines alone and look at the money spent at the cathedral site. The site that has become a dugout, very ugly and sometimes even dangerous dugout. I remember even those days in the 80s when we had swimming pool at the Accra Sports Stadium and not much what we could care was taken, it wasn't being taken care of, not very much. The area so degenerated so much so that even pythons were living in that pond. Pythons. So imagine this area, the cathedral site, which has become very ugly, an ugly dugout. When rain falls and it fills up, it becomes a danger for humans. It becomes what we call it, a trap for humans. And also it will breed a whole lot of things, including snakes. But all this, as for the board of trustees of the cathedral, those clergy people who have made their monies telling lies to also gullible citizens, telling the citizens that, look, if you lose your money in the church, if you go to church and you lost your money in the church, God will bless you. You see, I will tell you that the Mirano Edu, the time has already come. I know we still have people who are compelled, people who are in that situation that, they've taken the going to church or being present at the church house as part of their lives. I don't hold it against them. You say, I have an auntie, he said, look, and you JB and you crum how, inteja, you can't transfer them why you take Bible Kakana, as often one concert, I'll be in a Kakani, Asrawani, Abefi. So I wouldn't tell my auntie that don't go to church. She's clever enough. She tells me, well, the church I go, they use money for the lighting system, electrics, and for the fan and the rest. Maybe we have to pay the pastor to some 5 CDs that I will do away with. It's not too much. And I totally understand. But I know that these clergy people, they are so for those who have made their mind, or these leeches sucking the blood out of, foolish local citizens. I say foolish because they are also gullible. They want to hear what they want to hear. So for kase, for usika bra, sorry, na ube fi aso dem no. Na usika ni nyina asan wo bottom. Na so for let me atumi convince wa kama wati ase me ye wo de say, usika ni nyina asan afri bottom wa sorry dem a. Ehon na nyame be hira wo. Hey, Jesus. America for Becca, you see where we are at? Where we are at. Very rich and powerful clergy people. Now some of them have seen the light. Some of them have realized that the pain they are inflicting on their fellow Ghanaians, that pain is just too much for even God to bear. And so some of them, Duncan Williams and one Reverend Anaba, they have withdrawn, they've left the board of trustees for this cathedral thing. But we still have some of them there, including my good friend Marty, Professor Marty, my good friend Reverend Marty. He is still there on the board of trustees for that cathedral, that failed enterprise, that failed sort of construction or entity, whatever they want to use it for. These Asofo are still sitting down taking public monies. They are paid or they are giving perks. You see, maybe they wouldn't appear on salary books or a spreadsheet, but they still get monies here and there. Ghana for moment, MBA dream kakra. I remember those years and those songs. Say Ghana people make you wake up, make you fight it right. We no go sit down make the cheaters every day. But now we are sitting down and they are cheating us every day. Why? Where did we go wrong? Why have we come to this? Go for a short music. We'll be back. We'll be back.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio. NFM Radio. NFM Radio. NFM Radio. NFM Radio.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo.
Oye. koliwa anoma 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 koliwa.
Right, sorry for the hiccup. We had a slight, what we call a technical issue, and we are back with Anoma Koliwa. You are listening to Mansa Musa. Like I said, a slight technical interlude, but everything is fully back working. As we say in UK, so we are cooking on gas, or we are cooking with gas. I won't tell you later. I'll make you more. But and come on, you know, and one say, a member no obi is about me, or missing a chance big time. Because imagine, say, assembly see and flooding na obehuna baumia eshene Wellington boot and or shebia raincoat jacket bi na walkie talkie Motorola e bona so na all directing crofo or can some gun crofo asum chere Lucas ne so munya abotre na president na we tu kwan on one ka say ba nhihye de bebre beba so. Instead of doing so no baumia ntumi anye. Instead, no, or twice I say on the so holidays, so be a president to Kwaya, one hour shake, no, yes, now or holidays. Now, a mind who bull if you put could be it affects your judgment. Those advising Baumia, they are not good. They are not good. And many Baumia and I'll sack all of them. But I'm not Baumia. Yeah, he likes them. But he has missed an opportunity. You see, when the president travels and usually nothing happens. They say, oh, the vice president now becomes the president. Fine. If nothing is happening, normal activities happening, okay, no one will even ask, oh, where is the vice president? But the moment something happens, the vice president or whoever is in charge should be seen to be acting, to be directing, to be doing stuff. Now, Baumia, we didn't see him for dust, as the Englishman will say. Yeah, we know, baby. After I say, well, coach is 161 or so 162,000 cities. And Okrano, a month for be come was say, Baumia is wrong because according to what is at stake, according to what we can hear, Baumia donated $1 million to Sierra Leonean victims. Sierra Leone time flood BC or no. Baumia maomo $1 million. The same Baumia, according to the story, were donating 160,000 cedis to Ghanaian victims. Oh, nessa Saletia, and yes, we were castle. Some of us or some people have been shortchanged. When there are flood victims in your whole country, and you decide to give them 160,000 cedis, but when a flood victim is in Sierra Leone, they deserve to be given, or they deserve $1 million. Adewe yakan kufuado. Sa asemsi baby condolence is not the cause. For what we know, I think if it's people will tell you that when the church in France, that church in Paris, when it got bent, we hear that Akufo-Addo donated $5 million or something. It's not been confirmed, but you see, in all this, if Ghanaians suffer some serious atrocity or serious damage caused by either natural or man-made sort of procedures, Akufo-Addo and his mate Baumia, they always know where to be seen. After Akufo-Addo, I remember the first serious incident. About 100 and something or 70 something people died when a petrol tanker collided with a bus, Kintampo, those areas. Lots of people that very day Akufo-Addo left the shores of Ghana to go US somewhere. That very day he left. Meanwhile, if it had been the other way around, some of these presidents, some of these head of states, a crow, almost president, almost head of states, no, almost bu or mine, almost bu a man for no, respect to omono. So president had to coin us CBC or sign but fast, quickly. Yeah, president there, assembly sinusa daruna o to coin akojineni. Or they are Ghana force besine. Now their main tiasi say there are few people who are enjoying or getting better out of this misrule. Very few. And many of us, many Ghanaians are struggling and suffering from this misrule. And yet, nobody wants to say, Omankasa no is MPP for no more Breno. Ejuma say, of course, some people are making money. They are sharing money here and there, I understand. But many of you, the NPP, no, Ejuma no aye basa. And so still, you talk and behave and support Akufo-Addo. It doesn't make sense at all. 7:45 here in the UK, 6:45 in Ghana. You are listening to Mansa Musa. In 15 minutes, I'll bring the show to a close. Half an hour bar, and so who said me starting time. I think I started around 5:30. That and so from 5:30 to 8 p.m. I think that will be enough for everybody. And so I had to wake up or go somewhere, use the gents, and I've seen a missed call here. So Fra, if you are listening, I didn't ignore your call, not at all. Just that I wasn't here on my seat. So if you want to call again, better sign free. Now before me sorry I call na me can na me be a me can the former your friend is saying Deputy General Secretary of NPP. Deputy General Secretary of NPP Obri Eboa. Sorry. And now Obri Boahin. Or no criticize Aban say Ghana buy no the share any yet the priorities no yet because Ghana buy no I and I been say Obabis OC Cathedral. Na Cathedral na OC no. And for so be any if you say nipa eti kuro no mu no ye ni hospital papa and the hospital kakra na ye wono kra no mfidie bi ti say dialysis sa mfidie asa wunya kidney heart problem ni ade ni liver problem sa mfidie a one particular machine a etumi detect and say diagnose etumi hwehwe umoje mu hwehwe nioma ema yehu bebia yare ni wona etumi se yare no. Some machines ni yeni bi. Ena obiribu ahin bi say asune papa mu a is he right? Adenti na yeni some machines ni bi they spending millions of dollars say yedi kosi cathedral. Asamo a obiribu ahin ebu say simple. Enka baby akamaka so ni kwan wa busa clean question. But my only problem with that obiribu ahin statement ni say why has it taken him up to 2023? October 18th and sana all kinds of same way. October 18th, 2023. Ena ono obiribwa he cancer same way. Because our same way yeah no be a kanu that we said this, we complain about how Akufo-Addo is mismanaging the economy, wasting the money on frivolous or some useless projects near the We said it. And the most useless of it all has come to be the cathedral. Because cathedral na kwaye nyamesem enti they know Akufo-Addo ni asofo akese mpenifo no a omudidi Ghana for they all know say a banner sorry sem a oh be fa Ghana for sem wa you will just pick them like that. Ghanaians you say oh about it's not only Ghana, Nigerians as well, very very spiritual. You say anything about church and church building and the rest, everyone will keep quiet and follow you. And so a country that don't have adequate, machinery or equipment that can save human lives. The money so far, wasted on this cathedral, it can buy about 50, 60 or even 100 of the dialysis machines. The money is wasted. It can buy so many of these dialysis machines. But we've wasted it because we got some greedy pastors, greedy church elders. They have been put on as the board of trustees. Whatever they are trusting it for and for on whose behalf only God knows. They are on that trustee board making huge sums of money for themselves. And so they keep protecting that entity. They keep, defending, and they want to convince all Ghanaians that it is good for us to build a cathedral instead of buying dialysis machines for hospitals. Because already these pastors and reverends and all these greedy bastards, they've been able to convince us that if you're a Ghanaian, or for that matter, a human being, you go to church and lose your money in the church, that is when God will bless you. Oma dada ya mi ati ase ya jatum. What the infant say 200 cedis. Sorry. Sunday and not Friday and not Saturday. Next year jimu 150 a. Eno na nyami be shiraw. Oh. Eye asembia. Eye chese. O dream one na chese o dream before ya dream no still a nyini ye. Before ya adwene no still a mundo na ntumi nkosoro. You understand what I mean? Our brains, is it good enough? Are our brains sufficient? You are being told that go take your money, go and lose the money in the church. Whilst we are losing the monies, the church pastor and their elders, they are gaining the monies. And they will tell you that losing the money in the church means a full blessing from God. These stories were being told maybe 2, 3, 4, 500 years ago. And still being told, and still black people are accepting it. They are swallowing this rubbish. And so Akufo-Addo knows the sentimentals, the sensibilities of Africans and Ghanaians. He would just say, I'm going to build a cathedral. And he knows that no one will go to challenge. Because you are building a cathedral for God. If you challenge it, it means you are anti-God. You see, such nonsense, you can't hear it so much in Europe here. Say, Reverend Bakala and Reverend Martini, Frimpong, all those clergy people running on the backs, the ignorance of the masses to enrich themselves. And they will continue doing it because of very greedy, foolish politicians as well. These politicians know that when they use the churches to convince the masses, every rubbish that want to do, the masses will keep quiet. I don't know when we are going to grow wiser as a people to know that we are being deceived. The fellows who brought this modern Bible, the white people, deceive our people all those years. Obviously, some few of our people resisted at the cost of their lives, some of them. This day and age, we should have been a bit wiser. So for we no more, usu bempa no money, kum cha me whom so for the grand and me fifi. Obibini so for patch say what ye adwuma what bre why ye adwuma enye sika kakra na mom sika no woni kwa asori dem na se wo ko lusu sika no asori dem a ho na nyame be hira wo na bi before so ate ase na eguso day in day out every weekend, if it may be twice a week, 3 times a week. You are doing some business, you are running a business, you are selling some few things. Almost half of that money you are sending it to the church. Half of that money you are sending it to the church. Because the pastor, you've been able to be deceived, you have been able to be convinced that if you lose the money in the church, God will bless you. So, as you see some way, yet to me ka Africa ho e mama for GD. Nenya abodamo a enenye jimia. Before we have to wake up. We have to wake up. Even this warfare happening in the Middle East, Musa is sending some Bible quotation about how Gaza should be punished. And people say, oh, so what is happening in Gaza? It means God is punishing them. I'll say, oh, yes. This fellow I'm talking about, well-educated person who feels, say, for over nearly 800 children and babies are slaughtered. Forget about the adults. About 1,000 babies are slaughtered. Is because God punish Gaza for. God onu ni panisa abrofo we no mu a omo ne nam ho a omo ayi omo chese omo yusu Bible ndi sisi obia no na wo bibini wo gina kire na wo gitum. This one, if it no be madness, waiting you go call him. If this is no madness, Uber friend is saying, my name is 1 or 2 advert, I'll be back.
abusuafo sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana efi wiase afa na nyina ye ntia ka pre ane aye free top connect amasika mani aye mrekra ye wohia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo play store dia ma wo android phone ana se wo use iphone so a ko apple store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa manda buraduonum so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a aye ntem na emre na ma wa hoto so nso sese die sika mani di foforo kra any top connect so we hia chechemu bi a free top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our Belfont interfidie nyina so top connect fasika mane wa dofo asumdjemu a untia ka pre top connect yensu ye dienie.
Right, welcome back. Mansa Musa, 3 minutes to 8 o'clock. Exactly at 8 o'clock, no mess around, and then we start in them. So, come on, you know, ABC say, on Echo Fado, Echo, on a 4 chrome, Echo can some trucker poto. A funny wedding. But I mean, so to me, uncle, on the train, na, Echo Fado buy your car, and Sana. I feel the amount for who say, hey, I call a giant home. Now, on another 2 coin, let's have somewhere in a chair. One also a vice president, now one away take you over. Now, when to me and call her uncle Boatma and your man to 2 years. Just away jaw. Yet the best year, Yamia Duma, Ochina, if I bet Trasso. Have a good evening and a good night.
Mono me boy, mo pa me guitar, mo kama sa me show, yeah. Se pete